everyone. Welcome to our course, Green Economy from China's Stories. This time, we will learn about research scale of ecological footprint. In the last lesson, we learned the ecological footprint in different levels. In this lesson, we will talk about the research on the application of ecological footprint by industries. Last time, we talked about the research in the form of report. This time, the course will be presented in the form of research papers. Massive data is available to us. How many industries may apply ecological footprint? Agriculture, tourism, energy, traffic, mining industry, and international trade, etc., among which we can do some research. Let me show you some cases regarding the research. Let's talk about tourism. There are some beautiful natural scenic spots like Jiuzhaigou Natural Reserve, which attracts a lot of tourists. Tourists will produce some ecological footprint, namely their impact on the local resources and development. If we want to evaluate the tourism, especially the impact on these natural scenic spots, we can use the calculation model. For tourism ecological footprint, we can tell if the travel destination has an ecological surplus by calculating its ecological carrying capacity and tourists' ecological footprint. Then, we can raise suggestions and measures for sustainable development. That's to say, we can determine the number of tourists that is acceptable for environment of the region. Too many tourists may potentially bring damage to the ecological environment, which is worth our attention. As for the model of tourism, we can explore it in more details. When we select indexes and search for data, we can classify them by traffic, accommodation, catering, recreation, sightseeing, shopping during the traveling process. Then we do statistics and summary of the data of these submodels and study these submodels. We can get the results of the tourism ecological footprint. Next, let's talk about agriculture. A report may be applied to effectively measure the sustainable development of agriculture. A lot of tools can be involved in this part. For example, the crop ecological footprint, ecological footprint of animal husbandry, forestry ecological footprint, fishery ecological footprint, agricultural carbon footprint, agricultural water footprint, and agricultural waste ecological footprint. These are what we can do some research. Because agriculture in different regions can be divided into many categories. When making policies or adjusting the agricultural production structure, we can refer to the sectors with large ecological footprints for some guidance. The agricultural carbon footprint and water footprint, which earned great attention, can support follow-up research on agricultural energy conservation and emission reduction and water saving. Energy is a hot sector as scholars of many countries study the climate change. Traffic system involves the energy consumption and utilization efficiency, and the impact on regional ecological footprint and sustainable development. For example, how many are the ecological footprint of fuels burned by cars, as well as those burnt by planes? We may try to calculate the carbon footprint of Chinese aviation industry during its production and operation process every year. We can also compare the oil-fueled automotive with electric vehicle to see the difference of their ecological footprint. As China is making its endeavor to promote new energy vehicle, how many ecological footprint can we reduce if we use a new energy vehicle for a year instead of an oil-fueled automotive? You can do some research if interested. This is the ecological footprint of environmentally friendly vehicles powered by alternative fuels. If a vehicle is not powered by fuels, we can say it is environmentally friendly, and we can calculate its ecological footprint to provide some basis for the research by the quantized data. In addition, we analyze energy consumption status by building CGE model and using the environmental Kuznets curve. Many scholars are working on this, including the environmental Kuznets curve. When we can realize the unhooking, when we can achieve that economy grows, but the ecological footprint decrease is a hot top for the current research. As for industry, we mainly quantitatively analyze its ecological security status. If we plan to build an industrial park in a town or city, what is the biocapacity of the town or city? Is it enough to underpin the industrial development? Is the ecology of this place too fragile? International trade is also a hot topic for the ecological footprint research, which measures the impact of importing and exporting goods on ecological environment of both sides. This also deserves your time for research. For example, a lot of China-made clothes, textiles, computers, electrical appliances, and electronic products are exported to other countries every year. During this process, we emitted a lot of carbon dioxide and consumed a lot of natural resources. Then, we can calculate the additional ecological footprint of China, caused by Sino-American trade or Sino-European trade every year. This can be used in international negotiation. Although developed countries in Europe and America consumed the cheap products exported by China before, they didn't pay for these additional ecological footprints. This is what China needs to pay attention to during international negotiation, and our tools may be helpful. This is what you can work on, because you can get international trade data on United Nations website. The official data is available. Okay, that's all about the research of ecological footprint by industries. Thanks for your watching.